Welcome to the video, and in this video I'll tell you about the education system of New Zealand and the top universities where you can start your studies and eventually get a good job from that. And I'll also tell you about the tuition fees of the particular courses over studying here, and I'll give you the raw analysis of the like why you should study in New Zealand and yeah, what is the benefits of studying in New Zealand. So watch this video till the end and stay tuned. Here you go. Why you should start your career by studying in New Zealand. So the answer is the quality education and its worth over here, because according to the Worldwide Education for Future Index, they conducted a research and then they analyzed the um, education policies, teaching environments, and socio-economic background of 35 economies, and to see which countries were succeeding at arming their students towards the future-focused education. So New Zealand was followed after Finland and Sweden, I think so, after that, because New Zealand viewed it education for future skills as at a very broad agreed strategic imperative because of its small size and remote country. And also the secondly, it had a systematic government-led approach to making its education system fit for purpose across technology, teachings, curriculums, and collaboration with the industry. So one thing you will find over here is that the syllabus of studies over here are very analytically and more like practically based, so that once you are done with your studies, you can eventually apply those skills into those practical base of your studies, and eventually be and not only understand it to the aspect of the theory, but also also understand it to the depth of the practical knowledge. Mention you some of the universities, top 5 universities. The first one is the University of Auckland, which is ranked 85th in the world, and it has an intake of international students for about 41,866 annually. The second is the University of Otago. It's ranked 175th in the world, and it has an intake of 2,800 international students. And the third is the Victoria University of Wellington, which is ranked as 221st in the world. And it's the best courses which you can do over here are the law, information management, and hospitality. The fourth one is the University of Canterbury, and it's ranked as 231st in the world with an intake of 14,000 students annually. And the other one is the last one is the University of Waikato with 274th rank in the world, situated in Hamilton, North Island. The Indian market has contributed to a great extent in the education of the New Zealand with around 3 billion, and it's getting more and more each year. On the other hand, the refusal rate was also high in last year, with like 5,256 refusals of students because of the fraudulent visas and applications. So it's lucrative, very lucrative every year, and the analysis of application per year in India is like total from on an average is 4,500 to 5,000. It goes with an approval ratio of 65%. So I'll tell you the state-wise analysis of this. So the first state is Arunachal Pradesh, I would say, which is uh, like 45 applications were considered from this, and private universities accepted 45 with an acceptance ratio of 31%, and the universities accepted 26 with an acceptance ratio of 92%. So on an average, the acceptance ratio was for 55% from Arunachal Pradesh. Second is Delhi. Delhi, they allowed 94 applications and to the private universities, and 68% was the success ratio, and the universities allowed 28% of the intake, and 89% was the success ratio, on an average making it to 76% in total. Third was Haryana, which lodged 106 applications, and 52% was the successful ratio, and the universities did 20 in that, and 90% was the success ratio with an average of 60% intake. Himachal Pradesh, on the other hand, it was very low because only less students came from there, for around like 8 students in private universities, and 50% of the applications were accepted. And in the universities, only one was there, so the success ratio was 100%, making it to an average of 60%. Talking about Punjab, it was the highest because 852 applications were lodged, and 44% were accepted by the private universities. And the private universities, and the government universities were the 31 only files were accepted, and 100% was the success ratio, making it an average of 68%. I, and the last, it's Gujarat, with 206 files, and private universities accepted 41% out of that, and the government universities accepted 27, with 85% of the students, making it to an average of 62% world annually. So if you like, I haven't mentioned the other states as well, so this was the total. And the total, once they totaled everything, and then they took out the average, and the average came out to be an approval rate of, the average was for about 65% only from India. So a lot of refusals were there, and according to that, Bhutan was the one which had 100% of the approvals. I mean, no visa was rejected from there. Lastly, I'm going to tell you about the fees of those courses. So I have only taken into consideration as the University of Auckland, because all the courses of the university are streamlining in an average on the same number of your amount. So you can get an idea regarding whatever course you're coming to study here. So first of all, I'll start with the engineering. So for BTech, the fees is like 41,184 New Zealand dollars, which comes out to be 18,53,280 rupees. And the Bachelor of Computer and Information Sciences is for around 33,836 New Zealand dollars, which comes about to be 15 in lakhs 22,620 rupees. And if you do the masters, then it comes out for around like 36,000 to 39,000, which makes around 16 lakhs to 17 lakhs 55,000. Talking about the health sciences now, it is for around the amount is 38,059 38,059 New Zealand dollars, which comes about to be 17 lakhs 10,000 rupees. BSc Nursing, Physiotherapy, Midwifery, it comes about to be 33,836 New Zealand dollars, which makes an amount of 15,000 to 2,220 rupees. And hospitality and tourism events, the bachelor's in tourism management comes along about 31,477, which makes about 14 lakhs 16,465 rupees. And culinary arts makes about $30,395, which comes around about 13 lakhs 67,775 rupees. Masters post graduation, it comes in the culinary arts, it comes around about to be 16,000 to 33,000 New Zealand dollars, which is 7 lakh 20,000 to 14 lakhs. And talking about the last, which is the law, bachelor's in law, it comes about to be 33,836, which makes it around 14 lakhs. And master's comes about 4,000 extra in that, which is 37,461, which makes about to be 16 lakhs annually. This is the annually fees. And talking about if you're staying in the hostel, then the accommodation fees may be around 9,000, including meals and the place where you stay. And if you're on an FTS fund transfer scheme, then I think so you get 1250 I think so monthly, and out of that weekly you can spend $300. The bank pays you, so the bank credits into your account, and you can use it for your expenses, even if you're not working, or even if you haven't found the part-time job when you're new to the country. Lastly, it's very important you choose the right consultancies, because a lot of incidents have happened where the students were deported and destituted from the country because they once they started working over here, the financial documents were fake, and then they I mean the government of New Zealand could not do anything in helping them out because they didn't wanted to fall into that situation, and a lot of students were deported because of the fraud documents and the fraud mark sheets and all, um, or the financial documents later, when they were like new to the country, or like after working for a certain period of time, when the government came to know, like whenever you give your IRD number, you give your financial documents also to specify, like your income tax card, it's turned into your IRD number over here, so that your tax and all those things comes into that place. So a lot of students were deported because of that, and after like they spent all the money, their money was not refunded because, and even the if the education consultancy was fraud, uh, you can't do anything, you can't ask for the refund from the country itself. They did not refund, and some of the students had to go back to India, and they were like they regretted coming here. So make sure your documents are not fake, they should be true, so that you can start your studies with a prosperous future over here, and successfully gain the residency and the good job in the long run, and be happy in the future. So if you have any comments regarding the universities, just let me know, or the other politics over here. If you want to leave the comments in the comment box, you can do that as well, or you could like ask me on my Instagram as well. uh, so till then, bye, take care, and see ya in the next video.